What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up with the Joneses, Green Thumb Edition. Yes, I'm so excited today because I have some sweet potatoes that I will be growing in buckets, 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot. Y'all already know where I go when I'm trying to get some goodies for the garden, boom shakalaka. I went to Home Depot, and I'm gonna do something a little different just to experiment, try things out with this, bucket sweet potato garden situation. Of course, you do it in a 5-gallon bucket because they grow very, very deep, and I don't want to do anything over here to mess up what's happening, the harmony that's happening in the raised bed. So I'm gonna use these here buckets. Again, 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot. You can see them all. You see them all the time. You walk in the store, boom, they're right there. Walk through the store, boom, they're everywhere. Moral of the story is, you can find them Home Depot, anywhere, everywhere, if you just have your eyes open while you're walking around. Okay, but what I'm doing differently with this one is I have three little sprouts that I'm gonna go ahead and plant. One of them I'm gonna put in this concoction that me and a good friend of mine came up with. Now, the idea behind this concoction is that I'll be able to lift up and see my sweet potatoes as they grow. So, again, this is my first time gardening. Curiosity, it's getting the best of me, and I want to see how everything is going, how everything is coming along, and things like that. It'll also help me when it's time to harvest for me to know if my sweet potatoes are ready, because I'm gonna have the other ones in a regular 5-gallon bucket, just regular, and I don't want to, of course, pull up the whole situation just to find out if whether or not they're ready. So that little concoction is going to help me out because, again, I'm planting them all the same day. I'm going to use the same soil and cow manure mixture, and I'm going to make it happen. Now, if this works out well, I will show you all how I did it. We won't know until like 3 or 4 months from now, but ultimately y'all get the gist of it. What I will have to do, which I'll do with you all today, is I'm gonna have to drill holes in the bottom of each of my buckets so that as I water my plants, it has place and a space for the water to go and to flow, because you don't want the water to sit, or else you're gonna have root rot and you're gonna lose all of your sweet potatoes. Womp, womp, womp. You don't want that. Okay, so that's the purpose of the holes. I'm gonna drill the holes in the video so that you can get an idea of what that looks like. I think that's it, man. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get to the party, and stay tuned, because I'm gonna show you how you actually want to put your sweet potato plants in your buckets, because it's very, very special. Okay, so don't miss that. I actually was given the sweet potatoes, the little sprouts and things like that, and they were purchased from Home Depot. So if I was sponsored by Home Depot, I'll be cleared, because everything I'm using is from Home Depot, even my drill. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the fun. Drill these holes. All right, so again, you want to drill the holes at the bottom of each one of your buckets so that water can flow, freely throughout it, and you don't have root rots and things like that. So I'm gonna just take a regular drill. I got this little attachment spigot situation. I'm gonna just go for it. Probably drill about 4 holes. Simple. Simple. Another one for good luck. Just as easy as that. Again, you don't want to drill it towards you. Safety's first, as always. Keep your distance. Oh, that one went through. Oh, there it is. It's pretty cool. It's a whole little piece. Alright. Just as simple as that. You definitely want to do it for all your buckets. There's no, trick to it all. Just go for it. Go for it. That one I did 4. We'll see if it matters. This one I'll do 5. All right, that's that. So from there, I'm gonna just go ahead and rinse out my buckets, you know, just to give it a last little rinse through, wash through, because I didn't do that before I cut them. And we'll go ahead and put some dirt in these bad boys. You dig? All right, so that step is done. Step number 2, if I was to do all these steps, I'm really not going to do steps because I don't want to lose track. All right, so the next thing I want to do is go ahead and apply the dirt and compost mixture to the buckets. One of them, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there so that you know, we can get this party started. So that one I'll just go ahead and put in there. You see how they slip in there, just like 5-gallon buckets do. They slip right on in there, and the idea is that at any time I could just take a peek and see how the roots and things are growing along in the bucket, and that'll give me an idea of how these other 2 are doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the dirt and manure mixture, and then I will add the seedlings from there. Let's get it. So you can see this is the garden soil that I use. Has the 9-month of feeding, which is always necessary. It'll take me throughout the year. And then this is the compost that I use, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. I've been using it in 4 of my raised beds, and as you can see, production is taking place. So hey, all right, beautiful people, so I went on ahead and put the dirt into the buckets. Now, I already did something wrong, and I want you to learn from me. So what I ultimately will do and what I have to do is build a trellis so that the vines from the sweet potatoes, I'm gonna just go ahead and show you what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. As you can see here, there's the whole vine from even one seed, just like that. That's how it grows. And as you can see, each leaf will actually produce a vine, and each vine will of course produce a sweet potato. So you know, the idea with sweet potatoes is that they do like to grow along the ground. Now, I don't want my sweet potatoes to grow on the ground because I just don't have space for all of that. I want my sweet potatoes to grow up. So I'm gonna have to build a trellis like I did like here for my cucumbers so that my sweet potatoes can go up. Of course, I'm gonna have to like promote them, push them, guide them along the trellis because that's usually not how they grow. But that's what I'm gonna have to do. Now I'm gonna build a whole concoction, a holding station and things like that for that to take place, which I didn't build it today. So rule number 1, go ahead and have your station ready for your sweet potatoes to go, which I do not have right now. So as I transport my sweet potatoes, I may lose some dirt at the bottom, but that will be the end of that problem. All right, so learn from me in that mistake and go ahead and have the area ready. I'll probably get that done in a few days from now. Don't have the time today. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant my sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna plant them at an angle, of course, with the idea that I ultimately want the sweet potatoes to grow on a trellis. So I'm gonna push them in the direction in which the trellis will be. They'll all be going the same direction, but yeah, that's kind of where I messed up, but I'll do that in part 2. Part 2, I'll build the trellis, show you how I did it, show you how to get it started and going and things like that, and you know, we'll grow from there. Get it? All right, let me go ahead and plant these bad boys and let's have some fun. You always want to make sure your soil is nice and moist so that it won't shock your plants when you put them within the soil. So go ahead and wet it. You know, nothing overly saturated, but enough to get the watering done. Here's my sweet potato plant from Bonnie Farms. Thank you, Miss Bonnie. I know some great people named Bonnie, so I know I'm in good hands. So I just place that there like so. Oh, they're already starting to form and grow together. And I'll do the last one, take it out the pot. These were some nice roots here. Nice root system. All right, so I'll just go ahead, and from here, I don't really want to move this pot because I don't want the dirt to come out. Didn't think about that before. Learn from my mistakes. I'm gonna go ahead and prune off the bad leaves, and I'm gonna just take my seed here and just put the dirt right on top because I want it to be at an angle. This will be my angle that they grow in, and I'll give you a close-up of what's really going on down here. All right, beautiful people, so just like that, we planted some sweet potatoes in our 5-gallon buckets. I say ours because we did it together, okay? So this is how it looks at the finished product. Again, I didn't want to fill it all the way to the top because I know I will have to move them. But as you can see, I'm pointing them in this direction because the trellis will run along the backside, and their vines and all of this good stuff will be pointed in the direction of the trellis. So I had to build that. That's why you don't see that right now, but you know, that's how that'll go. This is part 1 of the sweet potato gardening. The next one, I'm gonna build the trellis system and the stand for my sweet potatoes, and then the third step should be harvesting. You know, I'm gonna just cut to the chase, like boom, boom, boom. If I have to do any pruning or anything like that, or if I find out anything that is necessary during the growth of my sweet potato, I'll make sure I do a video because I always like to share the goodies. And with that being said, I think that's it, beautiful people. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the page, join the family. Don't keep up with the Joneses and the Green Thumb family. They're both housed right here, this channel. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that we can grow and learn together. Comment below if there's anything that you think that I should do, could do, or that I should do better to yield the results that you know I deserve. Thank you, beautiful people. And before you go, click that subscribe button and go ahead and watch these videos, okay? Subscribe button, video, video. Subscribe, video, video. Subscribe, video, video. In that order. Love you, people. Love you. Peace.